Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Shop.com and the MarketAmerica Global Family of Companies. Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Ridinger! Ladies and gentlemen, our founder, chairman, and CEO, J.R. Ridinger.
Love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Ridinger.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. Welcome to my living room. Wow. Dennis, we didn't used to have all this hoopla. It's kind of like overwhelming. I haven't changed. Have you? You know, let's think of backstage, one of the amazing things about this business that one discovers if they get past the first couple hurdles is that you get to do it as a family, which is a very strange and unusual thing. And so with your wife or significant other, you really get immersed into this thing. And, well, you know, it's really an amazing experience. And you'll fight more. But you'll be fighting about something worthwhile. And you'll definitely love more. And then your kids get involved. And it's just an amazing thing what happens because they grow up in a totally different environment. And they become so much a part of it. And so when many families are torn and pulled apart and things divert their attention, there's like this coming together. If someone makes it, it's an unbelievable experience. And you know, there's nothing thicker than blood. Isn't that true? Well, there's nothing thicker than blood until you discover something that you never expected, and that's your MarketAmerica family. Because it truly is a family, isn't it? So I want to thank you, my family. I feel like Adam and Eve here. You know? But I hope that we can have some fun. I'm not going to go 3.5 hours, I promise. But I just came to do the same thing I did 24 years ago, just to hiss a little bit and have fun, you know, because that's really what it's all about. I've been hissing ever since I've been in the business. And hissing means having fun, telling people about it. You know, now I'm hissing about the shopping annuity. And we started out in a very small room, and look how big our pit is now. But, you know, little Johnny the snake wanted to have fun. He was a python, like you're an unfranchised owner. And you should have fun with it. Look, you don't need to make another job. God forbid that. This is supposed to be fun. And so little Johnny the python snake wanted to go out and hiss in his pit. But his mother said, "You're not quite ready to do that." But he wasn't going to listen to her. He was a python and wanted to hiss. So he got out in his mother's pit and started hissing around because he was a python and he loved hissing in the pit. And his mother heard all this hissing out in the pit, and she went out and she said, Johnny, what did I tell you? You can't hiss in the python pit. That's my pit. If you want to hiss in a pit, you go over to Mrs. Potts' pit and hiss. He said, Mrs. Potts' pit isn't a python pit. I don't want to hiss over there in Mrs. Potts' pit. He says, okay. You know, but he snuck out and he went over to Mrs. Potts' pit and started hissing around because he was a python and wasn't allowed to hiss in his own pit. So he started hissing in Mrs. Python's pit, and she heard all this hissing out in her pit, and she said, Johnny, what are you doing in my pit? I'm Mrs. Pot, and that's my piss, and you can't hiss in it. If you want to hiss in a pit, you get back in your own python pit. He said, but my mom told me to come over here in your pit, Mrs. Pot, to hiss. So here I am hissing out in your pit, and I'm a python, and you're Mrs. Pot. She said, well, you get back in your own pit and hiss, because you're a python, you can't hiss in my pit. He went back over and started hissing back in the python pit again because Mrs. Pot wouldn't let him hiss in her pit. And his mother heard all this hissing out in the python pit again, and she said, what are you doing? I told you to go over to Mrs. Pot pit and hiss if you wanted to hiss. I'm a python, that's my pit. She said, well, I'm a python too, Mom, but I went over to Mrs. Potts' pit and I was hissing around, and she came out and she said, what are you doing hissing in my pit? He said, my mom told me to come over and hiss in this pit, Mrs. Pot. He said, well, you get back over there in that pit. So she didn't let me. So here I am hissing back in my own python pit, you know, because Mrs. Pot wouldn't let me. She said, you mean to say Mrs. Pot said that to you? Yes, ma'am. She said, well, I remember when Mrs. Pot didn't even have a pit to hiss in. Thought I was going to slip, didn't you? So here we are. Here we are. The reality, 24 years of thinking, of believing. The demonstration that someone can come from nowhere, that you don't need anything but your own belief to change people's lives and to change your own life. Belief is everything. Visualization is everything. And God gives each one of us the ability to do it, and it's His law that that is the life you will have. So why people don't do it is beyond me. You know, God created you in His own image. The Bible says that. In fact, every doctrine of religion says the same thing. So what does it mean? God created man in His own image. Well, God created the world. He had the ability to create. He had the ability to change things. So just as He created the universe and all the creatures that He gave man dominion over, He gave you the ability to create your own life. He gave you the ability to think, to choose, and to create. Animals can't create, but you can create. And if you visualize and believe and feel it with expectancy, which shows that you really do believe, the people, those things are already done. You know, ask and you shall find, seek and it shall be given unto you, knock and it shall be opened, for he who believes all things are possible. That's what it means. And the people without a vision shall perish. You know, you want proof? Hocus pocus about being religious? I don't think it's religious, it's reality. You know, here's the proof. The proof is that each and every one of you are exactly where you are in life at this moment because of your thinking and what you believe is possible. You proved it. Now, if you don't like the result, you also have the ability to change and change your mind and think differently and visualize differently at any moment. And just get outside your comfort zone. You know, many of us are prisoners of our own thinking. You know what the hardest prison is in the world to get out of? Your own mind. Are we going to get out of the prison that's held us back in our own mind? So, you become, it's been said many times, you become what you think about all the time. Earl Nightingale. I said, that couldn't be true. If that was true, I'd be a girl, you know? Napoleon Hill, anything that the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So here we are. What are you going to conceive and achieve? By believing. We know that it's easier to conceive than to deliver. Right? And that's where the work comes in. So, tonight, it's all about belief. We're at the crossroads of history and of society where things will change. And you can either decide to lead the parade or be at the tail end of the parade. But they're going to change with you or without you. You decide where you want to be. For those that lead the parade, life is going to be amazing. So I talk about belief. Belief's a funny thing. You can tell someone about something and immediately they say, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. When I say, do you believe? You all say, yeah, I believe. Right? So you know the story that I tell. That the difference between belief and real belief is taking a little risk and getting involved. So you know the story about the first time ever that somebody walked across Niagara Falls on a tightrope. Well, that had been done before, but this was on the first time ever broadcast on live TV, and he did it with a wheelbarrow full of bricks. You believe you can do that? No. You think I believe I could do that? I wasn't sure. Just like you're not sure. But you know, I was at a point. I know the story goes. He went across and all the press corps all were cheering and applauding. And, you know, they said, man, that was unbelievable. That was incredible. It's fantastic. And he said, well, you believe I can do it again? He said, hey, you made it sound easy. He looked at him, flipped the wheelbarrow over, dumped the bricks out, says, get in the wheelbarrow. I'm going back across if you really believe I can do it. Do you believe that we can do what we're talking about with the shopping annuity and change the world? Yeah. Well, I want you to get in the wheelbarrow then. So let's take a look at this. I did this because I knew that you really didn't believe. So I wanted to demonstrate my belief when I didn't even know if I could really do it. But I knew that if I could do it, maybe you would believe a little bit more. I don't know what would have happened if I fell. But those are the risks you got to take. So let's take a look at a year or two ago at the convention.
So I climbed up and grabbed the wheelbarrow and started to cross ever so carefully. It would take too much time here to now explain the correct method of doing this in order to succeed. But it isn't simple, and you actually have to walk the rope with the arches of your feet and you're kind of backbending and squeezing in your core. The Niagara Falls view of turbulent water below and behind are simulated with actual footage over the falls, and it looks totally real. A very important technique in doing this is that you have to keep your vision line keenly focused on an object at the other end of the tightrope and never take your laser stare or focus off of it until you reach the other side. So I got out there in front of everyone to prove belief by action and really didn't know 100% that I would make it, but I knew that I could do it. Well, 3/4 of the way across, the worst thing that could happen occurred. I took my eye off the focus object when the audience started chanting my name, just for a split second. And that caused a wobble, and the wheelbarrow popped off the tightrope, and some bricks fell out, and it looked like a disaster. That was the worst thing that could possibly happen. Well, the pain of the thought of failure was so great that I had to get the wheelbarrow back up. And I said, God, help me. Now, I have to say that Pastor Rich's prayer was probably answered there, and I guess his divine providence to prove that the shopping annuity was destined for success and that belief prevailed. Now, I could have easily given up, and it would have been a disappointment and a failure. But I would have been devastated and humiliated. But the pain of the thought of failure was so great that every last fiber and cell in my body came together in a clutch and an all-out effort to recover, and it was a magic moment, and it worked. I was so relieved when I reached the other side.
Did I do it? Do you believe I can do it again?
Then, of course, I completed the metaphor by asking you if you thought we could do it again. And if you were in the wheelbarrow with me, of course, you all screamed out yes. And then Elizabeth Weber symbolically got in the wheelbarrow, who actually did it in real life with the shopping annuity. And that was demonstrating belief in action. Someone asked me after the close, it was all over, a surprise question. They asked me, what would I have done, or how would I have finished, or how would I modify the story after not making it, to explain it and to make sense out of it? Well, the honest to God answer is that I never considered it because it wasn't an option. I never thought of it. But now that I think about it after the fact, I would have made you stay for 15 minutes and climbed back up and would have gone across again without falling and crossed the fall successfully. That's the answer. Never, never, never give up. Failure is not an option. So that demonstrates belief in the shopping annuity, in unfranchised, and in the why, and the magic that it results in.
So, do you believe? So I'm asking you to get in the wheelbarrow. Now, people ask me, when are you going to do it again? I say, you would have to ask that. You know? Why don't you do it? But you know, I only practiced a day or two on that. And I probably should have fallen. And I wonder what would happen to you if I fell. That's a bigger question. But I didn't, so we don't need to answer. People ask, well, when will you do it again? I'll tell you when I'm going to do it again. When we hit 50,000 shopping annuity members, master members. That's when I'll do it again. But this time, I'm going to be in the wheelbarrow, and I'm going to have someone else push me across. And I'll tell you why. It's actually easier to push it across than to be in the wheelbarrow. It's a two-man act of balancing. You can do a little bit about it if you know what you're doing when you're walking across. But if the person in the wheelbarrow tips the wrong way or doesn't stay steady, they actually help hold it. You're both going down. So it takes a little bit of belief in the other person, belief in your organization, belief in your team. Well, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to be in the wheelbarrow because I need your belief to make it happen. And so I have to believe in you because I cannot do this without you. You follow that? Do you understand the meaning of that? For me to get in the wheelbarrow and you push me, I got to believe in you. It's more risky to be in the wheelbarrow than it is the one pushing it. So, you know, it comes down basically in the business, you got to believe. When we first started, we didn't have very much. You know, we go from house to house in every meeting and every coring. You know, every little hotel meeting, we sold one thing over and over again. We didn't have thermochrome, we didn't have OPC3, but every city, every town, we sold our number one product, and that was belief. And that's the same as still true today. But when you build a business, there's basically 4 beliefs that one must have, and they got to be solid. Now, you guys tell me if I'm not right, because you've experienced this. The first thing you got to have is a belief in something greater than yourself. Now, if you envision what your dream is and believe in the law of the universe of manifestation and that God created you in his own image, that should be pretty strong. You weren't meant to fail, you were meant to succeed. But somehow you get the wrong stuff in your mind and screw it up. Right? So that's why we all need to believe in an ideal. It's easier just to believe in God. So if you have a belief in something greater than yourself in your weak and trying moments, you'll be able to hang on until you get control of yourself. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to go into that. That's your personal problem or your personal advantage. The second belief is pretty easy, or easier if you have the first belief. The second belief is you must believe in yourself. You have to have a why. It's actually been scientifically proven that when you have a why, it changes the chemistry of the brain. I mean, this is scientific, clinical studies. And you start to get epiphanies, intuitions. You say incredibly smart things at the right time. You don't even know where it came from. You attract the right situations. It blows my mind. So if you don't have a why and don't believe in your why, you're handicapped. So that's all about believing in yourself. And you can do something about that. Does that make sense? So believe in something greater than yourself, believe in yourself, and then believe in the business and company. Now, I don't know what it takes to do that, but I am extremely careful never to do anything that would jeopardize your belief, because it's the most valuable thing in the world to me. See, I know that you're just not doing this, many of you. You're not just putting some money into it as you go. You're investing something much more important. Your time and your life, you're investing in this. And I respect that. That's the highest honor that could be bestowed upon me. And I will never, never disrespect it. Thank you for that. But somebody's got to have that belief. And then the fourth thing, believe it or not, is you got to believe in the line of sponsorship and your team. I tell people, the people that I bring in, I mean, I want them to make it so badly that I ache. And I go, I suffer through every little challenge that they have with them. I'm telling you guys, you might have great parents, but I believe in you more than they do. So, do you have belief in your line of leadership? You got to build that up. And look, someone tells me I don't have a good sponsor. He does this, that. Well, look, the best thing ever happened to me is I never had a sponsor. I didn't have anyone to blame it on. But the interesting thing about the business, it always helps to have a great sponsor. That also could be your weakness because they do too much for you. Whether you have a good sponsor or a bad sponsor doesn't prevent you from being successful. You can go on and do it without them because of the unfranchised system and one team, one dream. So never use that as a reason. Just remember, I don't have a sponsor either, and look at me. I love this story because it really talks about what people go through in the business. There was a man, I put this on the Bolt video, so some of you may have heard it, but there's a lot of new people here. And this man found a cocoon, actually a chrysalis, cocoon, moth, chrysalis, butterfly. But anyway, he found this cocoon, and he was fascinated by it, and he watched it every day to see the butterfly emerge. And, days went by, and it started to open up a little bit, and the butterfly was struggling to get out. And it looked like he was going to get out. All of a sudden, the progress stopped. And for a whole day, nothing happened. The guy got over-anxious, and he wanted the butterfly to get out so badly that he interceded. And he took a pair of scissors and clipped the end of the cocoons, and then the butterfly easily came out. But its wings were shriveled and its body was swollen. So he waited and he thought that soon it would constrict and his wings would come up and it would fly. But that butterfly spent the rest of its life with shriveled wings and hardly being able to walk with a swollen body. Because the man, in his desire to help, clipped that and prevented the butterfly from benefiting from nature's struggle. It had to struggle to get through that hole in order to force the liquid from its body into the wings so its wings would come up and it could fly. So in his desire to do something good, he did something bad. Because we all must have struggles. It's God's way of making us great. You see? So, let's help our people, but also realize they can't make it unless they just do it. You got to just do it. Do you agree with that? I do these things because I love you so much that I give you a little brain spanking once in a while. Right? A little brain spanking where I smack your brain around a little bit until, boom, that billionth of a volt goes off. So I don't mean to be on a bully pulpit and and trying to belittle you in any way. It's really to lift you, to get you to wake up. Because I know if you wake up, anything's possible. Are you waking up? Yeah, well, then maybe I don't have to give you a brain spanking, you know. But you know, you learned a lot this weekend. You learned a lot, I hope. Did you learn a lot? I mean, I poured my heart out of how I do it. I mean, I hope that you got it. I hope that you wrote some things down. I hope that you turned your clock back. Everybody was supposed to do that. This was an interactive exercise. Did you turn your clock back? If you didn't do that, do it before you leave. Because it's a stopwatch. And, you know, it's just amazing. Really, the hardest prison to escape from is your own mind. And sometimes you got to know what to do and see how it's done in order to open that cell and go out and do it. Isn't that true? So I hope that you got some of that. We're just prisoners of our own thinking. So I always hear people saying, I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I can't do this. One time at one of these meetings, we had a ceremony, okay, where we talked about the fact that it's not that you can't, it's that you won't. It's not that you can't do something, it's that you won't do it. True or false? You might not know how to do it, but you can learn how to do it. So we collected all of everybody that had a can't, we turned it into a won't. They wrote it down. And we actually collected, 15,000 of their can'ts. And we buried it, actually in a coffin. We really did. And so the funny thing is, at the end of the ceremony, at the end of the whole thing, it was the end of the show, we were all backing up, and Andrew Weissman fell in the coffin with the cans and the lid shut. True story. Not symbolic, though, at all. He's a doer. But so I suggest that you all do something. If you learned a lot and you're ready to go, and that can't comes up, let's do something about it, because that thing is making you a prisoner. Let's write that can't down and say that it isn't that I can't, it's that I won't, but now I will. And take that can't and get a box, a wood box, and put those can'ts when they come up in that wood box. Because when you put that in a box, okay, the thing that you won't do anymore, you now will do. Maybe at the end of the year, you have a little funeral and bury that box. Come on, let's have some fun. Right? So the other thing that happens to people is that their egos get in the way. And, it's really good to have a healthy ego. And it's very necessary for this business. You just don't want it to be out of control. It reminds me of the story when you talk about egos, Kevin, of at the end of World War II, the Allied leaders, Winston Churchill, Joe Stalin, and Franklin Roosevelt, all got together to celebrate and had a drink. And Winston Churchill spoke up and says, well, I think that history shall record that it was I that changed the destiny of the world because of my persistence. Stalin said, nah. God Almighty himself told me it was I that changed the world because I came to your aid and assistance. And Roosevelt said, what'd you say, Joe? He said, God Almighty told me. He said, I never told you any such thing. So what does this say? We did that walk across in introducing the shopping annuity, and it really kind of sent a wave around the world. And just to show you something, we didn't pay for this. We had nothing to do with it. It got picked up, the concept of the shopping annuity and walking across the tightrope with a wheelbarrow full of bricks on Times Square for 2 weeks, and then we didn't pay one dime. Now, my point is, there's something about this that people are intrigued by, people want to know about. And you're going to see that this thing becomes the household word, changes the world. And here you are sitting before it happened. There's many people have been at the right place at the right time, but they didn't have the guts and the gumption to act on it or to do something about it. You do know that, right? So here we are. You know, this is a demonstration of how the world sees the message and the shopping annuity and a crazy CEO. But the thing I love about it, it simplifies everything that we're about. Because when you try to explain the business, people start to get into wrong preconceived notions. There's so many different things, all the different divisions, how the plan works, you know, the unfranchised, and they have very short attention spans. But this kind of wraps all the great things that are in our smorgasbord of business into one simple message, and people really get it. Do you understand that? Apparently not. But, you know. So, do you want to be a part of the billion-dollar role in the shopping annuity revolution? Because it is. So, the thing is, if you don't believe it, it's only because you don't really understand it and why it's going to happen. Hey, the reason it's never been done before is because it's never been done before. Which gives us an opportunity to be the one to do it, because we have everything it takes and nobody else has it. You know? So we can create our own economy and provide a technology and system by which people can, through shopping and their own collective buying power, digital aggregation, e-commerce, and a tracking system, change their own economy and in turn change the world economy. Everybody shops in the world, and everybody spends in order to live, and it's relevant to every single person, whereas any other business endeavor is not. Think about it, isn't that true? So never before has this been possible until now. It was the idea at the very beginning, but we didn't have what it took to do it. So what does this mean today? I mean, we have an opportunity to make a move to change the rules and the paradigm, to take back control of the economy by allowing people to individually and collectively create their own economy. But see, if you don't even understand what an economy is, you may say, oh man, that sounds like crazy. Us change it? The economy just is. And you have to react to the economy. It's like the weather. Isn't that the way people think? I mean, come on, think about it. Isn't that the way people think? But if you understand the definition of economy, it becomes apparent that they are created by people and changed by innovation and created by people to take advantage of opportunities to overcome problems. And that's what we're doing. And that's why it's going to happen. Don't miss out. So, just for a minute, I'm not going to read off a lot of slides, but do you really know what the economy is? I mean, think about these definitions in relationship to creating our own economy, because then you might understand it well enough to really believe and defend that belief and act on it. Because when you're believing in something that you don't know, it's hard sometimes to stay the course, true or false. You know? So the only thing better than understanding, than belief, there's only one thing better than belief: knowing. Which is better, believing or knowing? Okay, so we refuse to participate in your recessions. Last recession, one of the worst. I didn't see Elizabeth Weber's income go down. I didn't see Bowling's income go down. I didn't see many of our people losing their homes because we had our own economy, you see? And consider the relevance of these definitions and their meaning in creating our own economy. Now, there it comes, right out of the business dictionary. An entire network of producers, distributors, and consumers of goods and services in a local, regional, and national community. That's the shopping annuity. What are you talking about? I didn't make these definitions up. You can look them up. Cambridge, the system of trade and industry by which the wealth of a country or region is made and used. Well, isn't that what we're doing? Huh? We know it ain't working their way, so we're going to do it our way. But it fits the definition. So I just want you to watch this very well short video which explains where we started when the pioneers came here and what happened up until now and why it shows us that we can create our own economy together. You ready? Go.
Economies are created by people individually and collectively based on needs. Economic cycles exist in a state of constant evolution. They adapt to the realities of that time. If left unchallenged, they can fall prey to exploitation and abuse. In the beginning, our forefathers settled new regions first with no economy, and then naturally developed into primitive economies of trading and bartering. This expanded into the exporting and trading of goods with Europe and Great Britain. Later came the shops and local businesses of Main Street, USA, where the owners knew everyone in town. This personal approach was the basis for one-to-one marketing. This growth fueled greater demand, requiring more distribution and product branding. Businesses began providing goods and services that filled wider needs. As people bought and sold collectively, manufacturing needs grew. This led to the Industrial Revolution and mass production, bringing prices to affordable levels, but also resulted in monopolies and labor abuse. The economy adjusted into a more efficient system with the introduction of chain stores and franchises to supply people with popular brands. Mass media advertising and competitive prices emerged. Over time, these businesses were overpowered by conglomerates and public companies. Big box stores and one-stop shopping emerged and took over the market share. With these massive corporations, consumerism became increasingly impersonal. Soon, globalization transformed the supply chain, the cost of which was passed on to the customer. As this economic way of life became the status quo, customer identity totally faded into the background. The personalization of the previous Main Street era disappeared, and individuals became lost as a faceless number. Then, the dawn of the digital age and the emergence of e-commerce and online shopping transformed the landscape. Mass marketing and brick-and-mortar businesses pushed back, collaborating with the financial markets to resist changes in the economy. As a result, the previous economic mass marketing model with inherent large margins and unnecessary cost of the model were exposed. As e-commerce emerged, it began to proliferate. Online shopping and digital marketing began to rapidly shift the economic paradigm. Internet discounting, aggregation sites, and auctions became prominent. Innovation gained momentum, and there was a mass migration toward internet marketing and online shopping. As internet marketing and online shopping evolved, the consumer became both buyer and seller in this new economic transformation. With the right leverage and system, it's possible for an individual consumer to use both their buying and selling power to change the economic landscape as we know it. Enter the shopping annuity. By converting spending into earning, the shopping annuity lowers prices as well as the cost of shopping and provides ongoing income for those who participate as unfranchised owners. With one-to-one marketing, e-commerce, a universal shopping cart, a referral tracking system, and the power of people, our economic future is now back where it belongs, in the hands of the consumer. What was impossible in the past is now possible.
Well, that says it all. That says it all. You like that? I think that's gonna be a good one to use on people. You know, we're actually gonna come out with like short films. When we get to 50,000, I'm doing a movie. I already put $2.5 million away for it. Kind of like Social Network. You know? And guess who's gonna play me? Jamie Foxx. And some of my friends said, how can he play you? I said, what, he's just like me. He said, no, you know, he's black and you're white. And I said, what's the difference? You know? At any rate, just look at this. This just blows my mind when I read this stuff, because do you have any intelligent, educated, academic friends? You don't have any? Well, I love to zing them with this stuff, you know? Here's the definition of economy in the dictionary, okay? An economy or economic system consists of production, distribution, or trade, and consumption of limited goods and services by different agents in a given geographical area. The economic agents can be the individuals, the businesses, organizations, or governments. Transactions occur when two parties agree to the value of the price. No muscle, no leverage, no negotiating. All of us together, you know. Transacted for the good or the service commonly expressed in a certain currency. In the past, economic activity was threatened to be bounded by natural resources, labor, and capital, the old days. This view ignores the value of technology, automation, acceleration of process, reduction of cost functions, and innovation, new products, services, processes, new markets, expanding markets, diversification of markets, niche markets, increasing revenue functions, especially that produced by intellectual property, which is IT. Holy shit. I said, what? They're talking about us. Well, you catch that one on the way home. But yeah, so, you know, I looked up, I better check out what these markets are. Like MarketAmerica, right? Collective buying power, collective buying power. Collective buying power is coming together of a group of consumers and the use of the old rule of thumb, there's power in numbers to leverage the group size in exchange for discounts in the marketplace. Okay, so many different companies have used this concept to build business plans. Warehouse clubs function in a similar way by offering products in bulk to consumers who pay membership fees. In the same sense, collective buying power is a cooperative approach to leveraging group size to benefit the consumer by offering savings. Now the problem there is they all got to do it together. You don't want to do that. We all want to do it individually, our own way, and we want to buy what we want. We don't want to be influenced by any of that. Okay, so in our way, everybody can do it individually and just do what they want, but we're able to extract the commonalities. You understand what that means? That in this room, there's at least 3,000 people buying furniture. There's another 10,000 that are buying apparel for an event. So we're able to pull that together, even though everybody's doing it exactly what they want individually, and leverage pricing. Do you get this? So watch this, it said it. They said it. Internet companies have been leveraging the concept, bringing people together online. The company will arrange a coupon offering that will only go into effect if more than a before agreed upon amount is sold. So, what do they do? Like sneak into one of our meetings? You know, a market is one of the many varieties of systems, institutions, procedures, social relations, and infrastructure whereby parties engage in an exchange While parties may exchange goods and services by barter, most markets rely on sellers offering their goods or services, including labor, in exchange for money from buyers. It can be said that a market is the process by which the prices of goods and services are established. Markets facilitate trade and enable the distribution and allocation of resources in society. Markets allow any trade-able item to be evaluated and priced. A market emerges more or less spontaneously, or may be constructed deliberately by human interaction in order to be able to enable the exchange of rights of ownership of services and goods. Now, if you understand that, we can definitely do it. We are the disruptors. We are the Uberization of shopping. And the reason I bring this up is when you take a look at the history of marketing, like we just did, distribution, economic channels have come full cycle. And it proves to us that those things aren't the boogeyman. People and circumstances created opportunities where people changed the way it was. Isn't that true? You know? So here's the funny thing to me. People, the press, the government, blame or credit everything on the economy. You know, where is or who is this thing called the economy that gets blamed or credited for our financial state? You know, the time has come, and it's an idea time has come where we can decide to do it or not do it because we can create our own economy. It's like the boogeyman. The boogeyman's here, the economy, it's bad. You're going to fail. Isn't that what you hear? Oh, it's a terrible economy. Don't try. It's a recession. You know? Do you hear this on the news thousands of times every day? Okay? In academia. I mean, it's everywhere. Dinner room, dinner, family dinners. People bitching about the economy. And so I asked them, who is the economy? Who is this dude? So let's go back to MarketAmerica's beginning. Ever since the beginning, we've had a mission statement. Now, we evolve all the time, right? We certainly aren't what we were in 1992 or 2000 or 2005 or 2010. So the mission statement always gets tweaked, you know, to reflect what's going on. But this is basically it. MarketAmerica is a product brokerage and internet marketing company specializing in one-to-one marketing through the shopping annuity, providing a blueprint for success with the unfranchised business opportunity where average people can attain financial independence by creating their own economy. Now, the funny thing is, I go through all of the mission statements, and they all have creating our own economy in it. There's always in it, because we can do it. I mean, so, you know, I told you yesterday, I've been doing this for 25 years with you, 35 years of my life, and all I want, okay, is to do something, focus on something that'll make billions, and to have fun doing it, while giving everything we have to it, to winning the game and making a historic impact and a paradigm shift that changes the way people shop and allows people to take control of their economic destiny. I came here this weekend saying, I'm going to feel the temperature. And if they buy into it, I'm back for another 20 years the way I was for the first 25 years. I'm going to, like, you know. So the bottom line, what MarketAmerica has become over 25 years of being tested, you know, attacked, and succeeding, and us growing, has really become two things. You know, one is the major divisions, the university majors with 10 to 15, depending on the country, major multi-billion-dollar markets that you can build a business within a business, do something that you're great at, make a lot of retail money and a residual income. And then the other half is everybody shops, regardless of their major. So it's a two-sided coin. The beautiful thing about this is, heads you win, tails you win. And if you keep flipping it and you get heads and tails, you get rich. So keep flipping it, you know. So we have all these wonderful things. And at the end of the day, what we've created is a marketing monster. I mean, this thing is dangerous because it has hundreds of thousands of cells that are starving. I can't believe it. Alejandro Sanz is here. One of my best friends, you know. ¿Dónde están mis Spaniard people? Huh? Okay, anyway, I love you, brother. What was I talking about? Oh. People in the business that are unfranchised owners are starving for what they want. And because it's connected to income, they're just vicious to suck up the volume of anything they know that will sell and that they use and that will create more BV. True or false? They want every hot thing that comes on the market. Don't you find that in your own group that people are always telling you, why don't we have this? Or, man, this is great, right? So they're starving. And so anytime something new or great comes in, they want to slurp it up. So the marketing monster, like an octopus, reaches out into that market segment and sucks it up because there's demand, hunger. That's the machine we got. So we can do volume so you can hit checks. Are you comprehending this? I mean, I know that my mind's way out there in the stratosphere. Sometimes I wonder if people understand what I'm saying. You know? So here's what happens, you know. Right. So at the end of the day, what do we give to you? What do we give to you when you sign up in the business? Okay? Well, certainly the opportunity. And we call it the unfranchised because we have it systemized. Well, you basically get a shop.com, multi-million-dollar business. I mean, I got about 30 million tied up, okay? In a box with a turnkey system with the technology, the website, the SEO, SEM, the fulfillment, the products. You don't got to find the products. Credit card processing, everything. Training, marketing, analytics. You get it all. Do that on your own, you'd be spending millions and millions. And everyone has exactly the same one. True or false? Okay? And it costs you $129. Now remember, unless you open that box and do the basic 5, you really don't have a business. You just got a box. Okay? So in it is a technology tied to our tracking system and organization to do the shopping annuity. But you get all of these things that are necessary to run a successful internet or online business. But if you ran it successfully and really did a great job, and did hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars worth of volume, you would find yourself becoming a brick and mortar business because now you need to do the fulfillment, you got to get new products, you got to do SEO, SEM, you know, all the things that are necessary to do it. So as it grows, you have to have customer service. You're finding yourself working long hours. Okay, but the way we do it is as it grows, you can duplicate that with other people. and give them the business and they handle the customers. But because you get 100% credit for it and there's no dilution, you make more money without having to put the time in. Now, where else does that exist? It doesn't exist in any other type of business. It's not, affiliate marketing can't do this. And so it's just amazing. I mean, hey, don't you love what we got? You know? So anyway, and then the shopping annuity. So those that have been in for a long time say, oh, this is all new stuff. No, it's not new stuff. It's stuff that we couldn't do when I said we were going to do it 25 years ago that we are now able to do. I'm sorry, guys, that I didn't deliver in the first 5 years because we didn't have the technology, because instead of making 500,000 or 250,000, you'd be all making $1 million or more. So please don't punish me. Do it now, you know? And another thing that happened at this last board meeting was pretty phenomenal. When we built this company, when Dennis and I were running around and we didn't really have anything, we just had a little, we were still operating out of my home. And we came up with revolutionary products. The first one was thermochrome. And you took this stuff and you just shed weight and you were alert and nothing wrong with it whatsoever, never a claim against it. But the government made some rules because some other products had problems because they were abusive. So imagine this. We're doing $60 million a year in this product, and it got taken off the market. This is what really proved that the marketing plan works and one-to-one marketing works, you know, because we find products that work and we bring them in. That went out. The next year we did $120 million without it. You know, and then isotonics. Dennis knew a pharmacist who knew somebody, and he brought this stuff over. I was pretty amazed by it and started reading, but nobody would sell it because it was different than everything else. And you know, he mentioned pycnogenol or something, and I went out and figured out how to get all of the oligomeric proanthocyanidins. Took me a year to learn that, talking in the mirror. Oligomeric proanthocyanidins. Can you say that? And got all three of the best, and bam. So we have an agreement now. When Marty and I used to go out, and when we had things that we found, went out, they had no chance against Marty and me. He would charm them, and I knew more about the product than they did. And we made some amazing deals. Look at us today. We have everything. Well, you know, so we came from nothing, but we always came out with the greatest products ever. We have so many great products now. But what we want to go back to is every year coming out with at least 2 revolutionary, incredible attention getters that just sweep through the marketplace. And that's what we're going to do. Right, gang? Well, that one ought to get you excited. Dennis, I mean, what's wrong with him? Okay. Okay, so it's going to happen, this paradigm shift. Think about this. You just happen to be at the right place at the right time. But it's going to happen with you or without you. In fact, it'll happen without me. That's why I lose sleep at night. I'm scared to death that somebody will do it before me. We're pretty far along. But the economics create an economic gradient that's too great, too large, that it won't happen. It definitely has to happen, because when you have a better way that costs less and saves people money, everybody moves that way. Just look what happened with Uber. Happened overnight. Do you agree with this? Okay? So, you can be asleep at the wheel, you know. It doesn't matter. We are the disruptors or the saviors of the economy. And it's going to go down anyway, the ship, the Titanic, with all these big brick and mortar mass marketing companies that have old models that have too much expense that's no longer necessary, sucking the money out of us. So you can ignore it if you want. I hope that's not you. You know, when you're so right that it doesn't matter, that somebody argues with you and you just chuckle. You don't even argue back. Never before has there been such a single focus and passion in this company. Now, you guys know we've been through a lot. And we had a lot of deficiencies, a lot of things we came up to, but we worked hard to solve them all. And we solved them together. But when we agree on something and want to move forward, it doesn't automatically get done. There's another half of this, and that's the company. That's the dedicated people that work to make the unfranchised possible. And so when we come to cutting edge technology, being in the league of an Amazon or a Google or whatever, it really takes a lot. And they got to get it. They got to get it. They work harder for the thrill of accomplishment than they do for money. And so do I. For the first time, I saw sparks, understanding. And the mission was, we got to make the shopping annuity, if you understand this model and why we can do it and why we can be different than anyone else, and not compete with the eBays and Amazons of the world, but do something different that'll make us bigger. And it has to be easy, convenient, fast, and cool. In fact, it's got to be addictive. And I cannot do that. But if you give it to me, I can make it happen. We can make it happen. So I want you to hear directly from them, because this is different. Remember requirements, remember all the things we went through. It was a struggle to get through it, because I had to get people to do it that might not fully understand. But here they are. Here comes my partner. Truly, I can't even call him my right arm. He's my partner. I could never go back and do what I need to do with you if it wasn't for him. And he is as good at me at what he does. I'm as good at what he does, and he's as good at what I do. But you got to have a defense and an offense. So, Mark, take it away.
No, I mean, I figured since I got cut short in the last presentation, I might as well say a couple more things. I mean, maybe I can get another sentence in, right? No, I mean, the bottom line is this guy's the biggest visionary I've ever seen. Like, he'll tell you something, and you leave a meeting, and you're like, did he take something? No, I'm telling you, and then you go, and it takes a little while to digest it and get it. And then once you get it, it's like, man, this guy is so much farther ahead of any person that I've ever seen in my life. He's so much farther ahead. So I think when he gets frustrated, it's because he's thought of this so much longer ago, and it takes all of us so much long to get it. So it drives him crazy. So I get where his frustration comes from, but something that happened at the summit in Miami was just like, I got it. And I think I relayed that into what I talked about the last couple of days. I mean, his vision hit home with me personally, and our focus is real simple this year. It's on the shopping annuity. It's making things simpler, making things better, getting exactly what you want, making the assessment easier, being able to, when you want that product, you hit a button, and you're not only going to get that product right there, you're going to get the best deal, the highest cash back, the highest IBV, everything at the click of a button. And that's where his vision is. That's where it's been. I got it, and I'm living and breathing every single day until we see it to reality. Without a question, the guy is a genius. He's a scientist. He's crazy, just amazing. Love him to death. That's just the most amazing leader you ever see in your life.
And Mark, I have to tell you one other thing. All that stuff that you saw yesterday that caused the BV and IBV go up and all the functionalities to make it easy and everything that he told you today, that was all done before this meeting.
That's right. That's right.
So
That's right.
that shows you what they can do. Now they shift the focus just a little and presto,
Exactly.
Uberized shopping.
That's right. Thanks, Daryl.
Thank you.
Thank But you know what, for us with the shopping annuity, it was about what differentiated ourselves with other online shopping sites. And the shopping annuity really makes us unique. I mean, think about it. How many programs do you know that doesn't want money from you? Most of them, they cost something, $99, $150, whatever. However, this one actually wants you only to transfer the money you're already spending to your favorite business owner, you, the unfranchised owner. That's what the shopping annuity is about to me.
Well, first of all, Howard, I come on stage, I like a proper intro, all right?
The chief
And my rate,
officer.
I know that, but at my rate, just don't walk up. I got to get a big intro. All right, doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
See?
Marty,
Alejandro, am I right?
Marty, they all know who you are.
I know that. Listen,
They love you.
strategic plan was incredible. It really was. Sometimes it's so hard for me to put into words what JR was telling our team. It was unreal. So I came out of strategic plan with, I don't want to say a renewed belief, because I've always had the belief, but it became so much stronger that I went back to Greensboro, and everyone on the product development team now, I just brought that passion back to them. And everybody in the product development team, which includes our product managers, our science, our researchers, they're so passionate now about creating new and innovative products, especially with the shopping annuity in mind. That's like right in the top of the head, as you would say, in the cerebral cortex of the brain.
Rest in your cerebral cortex.
That's exactly right. For example, well, our DNA Home Solutions bundle, our Snap Essentials, and the new DNA Naturals kit, it's just to mention a few, have shopping annuity written all over them. So all of our products have been designed for our unfranchised owners to save money, to make money, and to continue and build and fund the shopping annuity.
Beautiful.
That's what it is.
And Marty, I want to take things like toothpaste that don't have the margins to have BV on them and bring them in, and maybe we have 25% to 50% IBV or BV, and that's what we can do. You get that, So thank you. You're my man.
Thanks, JR. This was a big-time opportunity when we got together for strategic plan, and I knew something was different when JR sat down at the front, and he had a tone and he had a look that I remember 25 years ago, back in April. This April will be 25 years. And this is when he sold me to become his follower 25 years ago. The mission to create the economy of the future by changing the way people shop. Everything begins with the UFOs, defining their why, translating them into the goals to make it happen. To make it happen, you got to turn their spending into earning and be a product of the product. You have to become a master UFO. And as you start to look the consistency of action to requalify 3 out of the 4 quarters every year, and as you do that, we simply implement the basic 5 with consistency, duplication within your team. And we do this with passion, and we will succeed, accomplishing something no one has ever done.
Wow. Let's get rich. Thank you, guys. And look, they're not the only ones there's a whole nother, Andrew Weissman, Jim Winkler, Kevin Buckman, the professor. He really gets this. Michael and Gene are top of the IT organization. These guys are geniuses. And when they focus in and get it, it's going to happen. So I feel very confident that this is a new day. And so let's make it happen, guys, together. They can do half, and it's really a partnership. You see, we have to deliver the numbers by people taking the assessment, because we can now tell the shop.com process of a universal shopping cart what we need out of it for each individual. And all we have to do is match them up. Does that make sense? We don't have to find out who wants to buy it. We already know. So that can be a revolution. So that's going down. I'm not going to go through this, but it's so obvious. That era is collapsing. Okay? And everything is going down. Our day has come. This is an amazing one. Digital ad dollars exceeded TV advertising the traditional way for the first time this year. Does that tell you that the tide is turning? So it's pretty amazing. And the reason I'm telling you this, and the other thing that's happening, is entrepreneurship is on the rise. People are getting out of college and not looking for a job, they're looking for a business, because they saw what happened to their parents. And more people are turning to entrepreneurship. Look at Uber, another similarity. They don't have any employees. Well, they don't own any cars. They have little entrepreneurs, just like we have unfranchised owners, and they match product, a ride to a person that wants a ride, and vice versa. Does that make sense to you? They're all closing up because this works better. It costs less. They're passing costs on to us that are not necessary simply to keep the money. Nobody wants to give up their pieces of the pie. Do you understand that? So whether it be advertising, whether it be shipping, whether it be any of these things. So I want to explain to you just real quick what makes us different, not only from mass marketing and stores, but any other internet company. $1 billion, $300 million, $100 million. In a vertical that sells one product, or a universal shopping cart or auction site like Amazon or eBay. Well, the whole game for them is they have to attract people to buy. And part of the game is becoming the conduit or the solution if you want to sell online. So if somebody wants to sell something online, they go to them. Does that make sense? Do you understand that? So they have to attract and have a way that people will come to them to find what they want. Here's the difference. We already know what everybody wants. Every dollar that they spend as a shopping annuity member, because they did the assessment. So we don't have to find it or attract them or lure them. And we put economic glue in it that bonds them together, because they get paid not only and saved not only on what they do, but their footprint. So we have that, huge numbers, but it's individual, but it's also collective. You get that? So we already know. So all we have to do is tell shop.com, this is what each person wants. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to look at it. This is what they want exactly. They already spend the money on it, and they committed to buy it all from us. And if they could push a button and get it all, they would. Would you? So all we got to do now is match the product to each person's assessment and make it so easy It's addictive. Okay? Do you get that? Do you think we can do it? You have to tell us what you want, and you got to do the assessment and be ready to do it. And what took us 20-some years to do with the MPCP to make it easy and seamless, this is going to take, it's going to start right away, and over the next year or two, it's going to be totally addictive. Do you believe me? Do you believe? Are you in the wheelbarrow? Okay, so we've done a lot of work on this, and I want to quickly describe some things to you, and I want to impress our corporate team and IT people which of these things are going to make a huge, gigorgous, is that it? What's the word? Ginormous difference and make it very easy to do. Because if the shopping annuity was just a snap, everybody would be on it, right? So, where's the meter? Huh? Oh, up there. Okay, so here it goes. Look at these. Allow for more demographic detail to be captured for better recommendations, age, gender, interests, and family members. So we want to know, because we're all interactive, we're all in bed together, right? We're all economically tied together. You have a reason to give that because you know it's going to benefit you and your organization, right? Other people can't get it. We can just ask you. So the more we know, the more specific we can be and differentiate and customize and personalize for each person. Introduction of UFO testimonials using Curelate. So we have hundreds of thousands of people posting all over social media their finds and their excitement about what happened with the shopping annuity. Now, it's going to be tied in by Curelator right to shop.com. So what they're talking about, bam, you can order. You don't have to find it. Does that make sense? Okay, savings and BVI/BV meter. Imagine this. As you start to order everything, there's a meter that starts adding up the savings from cash back, from the discounts. Do you follow what I'm saying? And we have algorithms that will do that. It'll be pretty accurate, but just a little wiggle room. Because, you might give it the product at wholesale, you might discount it, you might use a coupon or whatever, but it'll be pretty accurate. So imagine showing it to someone, that rolling up the BVI/BV towards your residual income, and then we'll be able to tie it into organizations, and those meters will be going. It shows us, look at this. We're converting our spending into shopping and getting rich. It's economic alchemy. Okay. The savings and BVI/BV. Okay, where am I here? Okay, hand-picked partner stores based on shopping annuity master member top purchases. So when you do the assessment and you go to buy, you're looking all over the place trying to find this stuff. Okay, what if the people that are best at it, who have already done that and know where the best deal is, we just put up, these are the 3 top choices that have the best BV and cash back. Does that make sense? Would that make it a lot easier? Okay, capturing and driving recommendations based on life events, birthdays, anniversaries. So we collect everything that's going to happen in a year. You're going to spend money on moving. You're going to have a baby or whatever. So when that time comes up, we alert you. We prompt you. And we say, here's the best places to get it at. I don't know about you, but I forget these things or I wait till the last minute. So then they send you to the best place to get it, and they ask you, do you want help in making the selection? Because when there's style, design, fashion or whatever, there's a lot that goes into that. And these things help narrow it, the choices, and connect you with the right products for your personal taste. Does that make sense? Now, to me, that's addictive. Not only convenient, but addictive. Just imagine, every time there's money that's going to be spent, you're prompted and it helps you make the decision. You like that? Personal drag and drop. So as you are looking through shop for things, as you've done, you find things that are going to work in the future for something that you have to do, you're able to simply drag and drop them into a shopping list by category, so they're not all mixed together. Now, let me ask you something. Does that make it easier? Okay, so now this is a real vote. This is a real vote. If we had that right now, it would make a big difference, make it a lot easier. Do you agree? Yeah. So, do you want this? Okay. Hey, by the way, we are documenting this. We're writing this down. Okay, so a few apps. What we want to do is start to make this thing not only easy and addictive, but cool. Okay, so I already told you about the savings meter. I mean, to me, that rocks. Every time you order, the saving meter's clicking up, and it's also, showing you where you are towards SIBP. So on each assessment item, you're going to get 3 choices rather than having to look. The 3 choices were determined by the ambassadors and other top people doing it, and then we match it with the data to see if it's reality. So you're going to get the 3 best places rather than trying to figure it out from everybody's experience. So when you have an assessment thing and you need a category, you need to buy it or find it, okay, no longer do you have to guess or look all over. Bam, these are the 3 best. I don't know about you, when I'm wearing a jersey and I believe in something, I don't want to make any dumb decisions, but I just want to get it done. How about you? So how do you like that one? Okay. I'm wondering if that meter isn't stuck on the last 95. Okay, here's a cool one. Best shopping annuity investment. And I know people like the Stacks teach this. What is the best investment in funding your shopping annuity? You don't want to pay more to get necessarily more BV. You want to get the best deal, but get as much IBV as you can. So it's kind of an analytic considering cost savings, cash back, shipping, BV, and IBV, which is the best to fund the annuity with. What's the number? You all understand what that does. I mean, it takes a lot of confusion and guesswork and cross-checking. You're just done. Now, how many of you think that would make it more addictive or easy? Whoa. Wow. We're going to have to hire more people. Okay. Listen, I know Eugene. I know Michael. Their big thrill is getting stuff done that you want and that's going to make a difference. I mean, that's where they get their thrill in life. So that's why I'm doing this. Financial expense tax app showing all of your bank accounts, credit cards, and spending characterized to the assessment with a link to where to order it. Now, these things already exist. They're done for Schedule Cs. You all have one, but they're financial planning type of apps. And so they track your bank account, your checking account, your credit cards, all of them you can put on there. So it tracks where all your spending is in categories. But this is going to be translated into our assessment categories, right? So it feeds them and then into the individual breakdowns that match shop. So and then all you need to do is punch it and it'll take you to the site where to buy it. So you can see where you're leaking. And how many people like that one? Okay, I got to do in science, we always have to have a control. How about if we had one that reported what you put on your shopping list and told you what you didn't get already? How much would that help? Yeah. The control didn't work. Running, okay, this is the one that I'm going to scream for. You know how like you're all in on the shopping annuity and you're really excited about it? It's kind of like a game in the house. How much can we save? How much can we find, on shop.com? Because you're wearing a jersey, man. You got team spirit. And so you go to the cupboard and you're out of peanut butter. Oh my God, I didn't get it. And when you think about going to the store, the tremendous guilt comes over you. And then you say, oh man, we don't have ketchup. And we don't have hand soap anymore in the bathroom. We only have a day left. I got to go to the store. So, you disguise yourself. But what if you could take out an app and take a picture of it, a barcode scan, or type in the little universal SKU code, okay? Or just write it down and then later, connect it. It makes a list for you. And then a shopping list of what you're running out of so that you don't run out of it again. And this kind of happens all week long, right? And then it connects you to the link of where to buy it on shop.com. Okay. I thought that one would be the highest. Okay. I already told you about the annual spending alerts. You put in all your annual spending and events and things that happen seasonally or, things that are going to happen that maybe not every year happen, like moving or redecorating or having babies, which costs a lot of money. And it notifies you, and then it tells you where the best place to get it and asks you if you want help in selecting it. So it actually helps you make the right decision and purchase. Now, how do you feel about that one? Convenient? Woo! Yeah. Okay, thank you. Wow. And then, hey, before I get off this topic, did you get on the first day with Mark how already the first round of 10,000 or so shopping annuity members are the things that are happening on Shop Direct, eliminating all the other middlemen and stores, and the possibility of warehousing, bringing things in to have higher BV. I mean, it's already happening. So it's not like a pipe dream. It's already happening. Just put the pedal to the metal. Put the pedal to the metal. So Chris Petticourt did a great job. What I'm trying to convey to you is this is not like other things far ago in the past that we talked about and they took 5, 10 years to happen. This is happening right now. And, month by month, you're going to see this thing become easy, fast, and addictive. This is the one I love, man. It helps you make the selections of furniture, which have design in it, fashion, and whatever. So I just want you to know something. Because I want you to go home, and when somebody questions you, they don't want to get in a bad mouth contest with you because you're going to whoop their butt. Because you know what you're talking about. But here's the truth, guys. Now listen to me. They have been scamming us for years. And they got away with it because there was no other way to do it. Now, free enterprise is great, but when there's no competitive model, it always tends to get out of hand. They're going to isn't that true? You need competition to make free enterprise a balanced good thing. Capitalism. Okay, well, they don't want us to get connected. They don't want us to be together. Well, they don't know about us yet. The establishment of mass marketing and distribution wants to keep us separate. And as long as they keep us separate, they will suck every last dime out of you. And in an antiquated paradigm that doesn't make any sense anymore, that doesn't work, they add all the cost on and they pass it on to you. And the consumer that pays the bill is the only one that doesn't get a cut. Now, is that unfair or retarded? One of the two. Okay, so we're not competing with Amazon. They kind of like fill some of that space. We're way ahead of them because they can't track a person's footprint to pay them. They don't have cash back. They don't have any people power. Okay, so understand this. It takes three things to do this, and no one else has it. No one. No one else has what we have. Universal shopping cart, where everyone individually can get everything that they buy or spend money on. Now, how would you do what I'm talking about if you didn't have that? What would you do? Nothing, and that's why nobody has ever done it. Well, Amazon can't do it. They don't have the tracking system of the people, and they don't have the people. You guys getting this? So when you look at shop.com in your business, you see a screen at your house, and you think, this is shop.com. This is what it is. I got mine. Isn't that how everybody looks at it? My shopping site. Well, you don't understand. You got 160,000 people around the world that also have it that are all tied into one source, ordering through one source. Now that makes a big difference because we know what everybody's buying individually and who they led to, but we also know how much they bought from every vendor. Even though they all might have bought different, hundreds of them bought from each vendor, or thousands, allowing us to lower the price and get more BV. The tracking system is absolutely crazy. Nobody else has our tracking system. You say, we can track, like the movie example, or like water running down a mountain, path of least resistance to the stream. When you go to a movie, you tell people, they tell people, we actually track that. And we give everybody credit for every sale with no dilution. It's not like you get 5, you get 3, you get 2, you get 1. You get 100%, right? Uh-oh, man, we are going to take over. So the third thing is digital aggregation. Now listen to this. You're going to hear that word coming out more and more, okay? Digital aggregation connects us all and tracks what each consumer buys individually from each store as well as collectively. And although we treat each consumer differently or personally, we use collective buying power of what everybody buys together, even though they're buying individually, to force prices down and to increase our revenue share that's converted into BV and IBV. And see, before, we were all separate, and nobody knew what the other one was doing. So as long as they kept you separate, they could abuse you. They could charge you more, not give you any breaks. They even tell you how you're going to get it. Well, we're going to revolt. We're not going to let them do it anymore. You know, so imagine this. Now, here's what's actually happening every day. Right now, it's happening. Okay? Everybody's ordering separately, right? But it's being shipped to them directly, and we have economies of scale. We got numbers, which gives us buying power. And then we track it to who you lead to. Who else? Amazon, eBay, whatever. Who's got this? No one. So no one has what we have. Okay? And so I just want you to understand. Amazon is what's called a universal multi-merchant shopping cart. Very hard to do because you are dealing with millions of products, thousands of vendors. I just want you to think about this for a minute. We have perfected that and integrated it with our business. That took a while to do. But, you know, you have MA products that are extremely profitable. Other sites don't have products that will feed your annuity to the point where it's paying so people stay in the deal. Thousands of partner stores. You know, they don't come on automatically. You got to go get them. Comparison shopping. You realize how hard that is? Prices change all the time, and you're comparing prices. I mean, just think about this. Shop essentials, merchandising, and link to the shopping annuity. Update inventory available process daily. You can't be having people order stuff and it's out. Because who are you going to call? Not the vendor, us. You guys getting this? I'm just speed, infrastructure. Man, there's so many things that load up the computer to make it slow. What if it takes 8 seconds for stuff to come up or images? You're out of there. So the engineering behind this stuff, and I'm just going to keep clicking. You can read faster than I can talk. Okay? One credit card, multiple vendors, split up the bill. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But this software, and I read an article about it, and I'm going to put it out in my blog, is actually more sophisticated than the software and engineering and integration that it took to go to the moon. That's how complicated it is. Here's my point. It's not easy to create. It costs millions of dollars, more than millions of dollars. You seeing these things? Shop Buddy. You think Shop Buddy just automatically connects with everything and you don't have to do anything to update it? Okay, so the point is, we have it. And it's very difficult for somebody else to get it. There's only a few of them in the world. So we must take control and create our own economy because we can supply the product. We already know what you want with the assessment. You're telling us. Nobody else has that. Okay? We have the tracking system to give us muscle with the vendors and to pay everybody that you know, that know people, that know people, that know people. So it's like 2 get 2, 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 get 2. We're in Great Britain. Get 2, get 2, get 2, get 2. We're in Spain. Get 2, get 2, get 2, get 2, get 2, get 2. Taiwan. 2, get 2, get 2. Singapore. 2, get 2, get 2, get 2, get 2, get 2, 2, get 2. Malaysia. Hong Kong. So, how are you going to stop us? And everybody's getting paid to do it. So here's what happens. They keep us separate. And you're all paying the highest price. You don't even know. You can't do anything about it. What are you going to do? Complain? So they're piling up the money, draining your pocketbook with things that were never necessary. Okay? Reshipping a product 3 times, putting $300 million into branding. You know, so what this does, we all come together. We know what we all bought. So we had 1,000 customers for this. You will give us 15% more. Oh, I don't know. You don't have a choice, Buster. And the money goes back to you. So imagine this. All around the world, we have people. Nobody wants to do bulk buying. They all want to buy what they want individually, right? But we know who bought what, wherever. Okay? Wherever it is geographically, and it doesn't have to be geographically. It doesn't matter where they are. We can pull those numbers out of who bought the same thing and use it to lower the BV. So, you're all connected to that screen, but that screen has hundreds of thousands, millions of customers connected to it in the database. Everybody getting this? Okay? So everybody's getting products, but we're able to do a shopping annuity, and you're funding it with spent money gone. You'll never see it again. You're broke, but now it's money in the bank for you. You don't need money to build a return or residual income. And we have all the stores, our products in the stores. And then that's sending cash back to you, and that's sending residual income to you. So this has never been possible before. And, you know, Uber, overnight, all they did was have an app and make it easy and match a car and driver to a what? A customer, a person that wanted a ride. And they know where they all are. It's digital aggregation, okay? And I mean, billions overnight. You're telling me it ain't possible? How did they do it? And more people shop and want to save than are looking for cars right now, right? Okay. So match product to people and people to product, and that's what makes it happen, using our collective buying power. It's different than just having traffic and getting people to buy. We already know everything somebody's going to spend in a year. So I talk about this. Look at it again. Now, you know, you ever hear me say, I won't stop until we fill this place with directors. Okay. When we get to 50,000, we're going to be on TV. There's going to be movies. There's going to be all types of media talking about the phenomenon like social media was 10 years ago. And you're going to be sitting as one of the early adapters, because now we have enough volume to have muscle. And I can go to the media and press and say, this is economic alchemy. We turn spent money into incomes to change the economy. You know, just think, 100,000. We have twice as many people as that. That's 317 million in commissions into you, because everybody's represented here, and the people under you. Not a bad raise, you know. So my final thing on this, and I'm done, and then we're going to talk about how much fun the business can be, and fool around some until I'm done. Okay, so look, the old model is a cash system. Try to get a product into a store. You'll find out how hard it is. And it's very difficult to do that. And over time, as they expanded distribution, all of these things have to be paid for. Look at them. Now, it was all right when there was no other way. That was the only way you could get products around. But the prices kept rising and rising and rising. Are you reading these? Because you got to look at them. I mean, you know how much it costs to run a store? That's all tacked onto the product. Shipping it, every ad, the branding that goes on. Okay, so at any rate, it comes somewhere between 35 to 50% is not in the product. And when you include some of these other steps of making that product rise to the top, it's as high as 75%. So you're paying for something that 75% of it's not in the product. It was in all of these steps that, with our system, are needed. Are you getting this? So all of that money can go back to you. Times are a-changing. So we have everything, is the point. So that model is very real. It's very difficult to change the establishment. It's very difficult to change mass marketing. So you know the way they work, multiple steps, that alone costs a big amount of money. But now the new thing of direct shipping with internet marketing, that's great, but it doesn't even hold a candle to the shopping annuity, because we already know what everyone wants, are able to track it, and it costs less and pay you, right? So we have it all. And don't take lightly for having it all. It's hard to get everything to do something that changes the world, you know? Customer always comes first. Nothing's done at the expense of the customer, you know? And here we are. Everybody wins, from the supplier to the customer to the UFO. Everybody wins. It's a win-win-win-win, you know? So from the master member's point of view, what makes us different from all other online and internet models and stores and brick and mortar? Real simple. We can track your footprint, give you credit for it, pay you, and we can connect with shop.com because we own them and they supply every product in the world. So we match them together, your footprint grows. Nobody else has that. It's not like trying to find stuff on Amazon. Do you see the difference? So we don't have to try to do what Amazon does. We're going to do what we do. And, okay, here's a zinger, and I'm done on this. Okay, listen now. We have been conditioned our entire life to accept price increases. True or false? Next time you go to buy the microwave or the refrigerator TV, it's 25% more than it was a couple years ago. Every single time. True? You know, bar of soap, same thing. True or false? To a point where we get like in a coma about it. It's just okay because there's no other way. True or false? But your income doesn't go up unless you're an unfranchised owner. So they're sucking more and more money out of us because of all those things, because they had an increase. And what do? They beat the dog. They take it out of you, right? What if the world was on the shopping annuity? Listen, and every year prices went down. While your income, because of more volume causing them to go down, goes up. Okay, you don't believe. Okay. Hey, if you don't have a why, it ain't going to happen. But here's the magic. Dennis got the why from the first time. I was so crazy, jumping all and down. I didn't have anything. He was so crazy. I was so crazy. He said, I don't know what you're so excited about, but I've never seen anything like it. I'm doing it. But you got to get your why aligned with our mission and why. And you know what it is, right? Because where in the world can you find a company that has the same why as you? See, our why is for you to get rich, you to make it. Your why is a dream that requires that richness. I don't know any company that somebody's why is the same as the company. It's usually opposite or different. But when you align, because the way we are, what we are, our DNA, our why is all about you. So if you match these things up, we're in big trouble. How bad do you want it? Run this. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it?
Hey, JR.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing? You're on time. That's great. So, what was it that you wanted to know?
I wanted to know what success was all about. What success?
Well, that's interesting. Why do you want to know that?
Because I want to be at your level. I want to be where you are in life. That's what I want. Really being successful.
Well, Andrew, as you know, you have to have a why, and you have to know what you want to do. But any field of endeavor has a commonality when it comes to success. And unfortunately, it's something that you have to experience. It's something that you don't know intellectually.
Okay.
But Let's take a walk to the water, and maybe we can figure it out.
Okay. Come on, JR. Why are we doing this? All I want to do is learn what success is all about. I don't want to be a swimmer or lifeguard. I just want to make money.
Look, Andrew, just listen. Just do what I say. Let's just go a little deeper.
Come on, JR. Why are we doing this? I just want to know what success is.
Okay, Andrew, watch this.
What the hell are you doing? I just wanted to know what's successful. I just want to succeed, make a lot of money, and be rich. What are you doing out there? I was drowned. You almost drowned me.
I know, Andrew, but you're all right. What did you want more than anything when you were beneath that water?
I just wanted to breathe. I just wanted a breath of air.
That's what success is. You must want to succeed like you want to breathe.
Oh, I understand.
You have to experience.
I got it. Thank you for that. I can do it.
We've taken, at my request, the NMTSS to back the way it was in the beginning in its heyday. And I know the type of enthusiasm there is out there, okay? I want to speak to you individually. This is your chance to be one of these people up here. You need to get involved. You need experiential learning is the only type of learning. I know you don't know how to do it all, but we don't do it alone. We do it as a group. And you can explode all over the country. I'm going to ask you like this. Please participate. Please hook up with other people in your area. Please find some leadership and just do it. You know? And we're going to fill up these regions. You should want to have a local near you. You should want to have a UBP at your place. And we make progress through partnership. So are you ready to win the Super Bowl and make this thing happen? You know, and so if we're going to do that, we got to make sure that we remember we're not a pile of different ways. I got to be careful with my words. But we are a unfranchise. We're the opposite of a franchise because we provide the same systemization, blueprint for success, standardization, uniformity, one way of doing it, no confusion. When people go somewhere, it's what they expect. Does that make sense? So you can build everywhere, and you can leave your own hometown. And, I remember, and I said this the other day, but I'm going to repeat it right now. There's big value here. You've been left off the hook. Because Dennis and I went to the syndicators after being frustrated about how people, resist buying tickets or getting tools. And I said, this is franchise it. The people that really want to do it, and then they can have the distributors, and we'll charge them all at once, give them a better price, da-da-da-da-da-da. So I took it to these guys, and they came back. I thought it would be 10,000, if you want to know the truth. They said, with the type of income here, and the type of technology, and support, and the things that you provide them, I'd say if we do the right things, it's at least 120,000. Okay, well, that was tempting. But I turned to Dennis and said, I can't do that. Because it's out of the price range of the average person. And this was being built for the average person. And we would be denying them the opportunity. And so it's $129. And the trap in that is you really don't have a business unless you're a master unfranchised owner. But because it's that, you treat it like a nickel and dime business. But the point here is, if we're going to have an unfranchised, whatever the cost, okay, the things that make these things work is when people go to them, they know what they're going to get, right? They know what to expect. If it's different, they don't like it. So everywhere you go, you can get the same thing. Now, if you pull up to McDonald's and it's pink rings, and you go inside it and it's got lobster and egg rolls. Whoa, is this McDonald's? Do you understand that? You got to do it one way, okay? And so, you know, you're getting egg rolls rather than fries, okay? You go to Starbucks, every single one of them does it the same way, and they do it well, don't they? So you don't want to screw it up with your creative ideas. There's enough creativity in your personality alone, you know? And so you go in, you get what you expect, okay? We don't need to be going in and say Crappuccino and Depresso, right? So here's the fact of life, folks. We stand at the brink of a revolution. We stand at the forefront of an economic revolution to change the world. It's going to happen anyway. And part of it is the common thing amongst all human beings, regardless of where they are on the economic ladder, regardless of their race, their creed, their religion. They all have one thing in common. They want to have economic stability. They want to be okay. They want to do better. They want to be able to have some self-determination. And they don't know how to do all types of things. But no matter where somebody is, or what color, or religion, or location, or country they're in, they are all spending money to live. And they can turn that in to a residual income. And by so doing, we can come together as a world, brothers and sisters, and take over the economy by taking the money back. Yeah, that's it. Old brain locked up, get the oil can out. Get a new brain where every single thing you see, everybody's a prospect because they're spending and want to save, and every product and everything you got to buy is a residual income factor in the shopping annuity. Ha, ha, ha. You learned about it, right? You learned about the formula in the Basic 5 about how to accelerate the process. Did you learn that? Okay. And then we got to do the Basic 5. So the longer that you're building and doing the Basic 5, and some of you have done it for a while and you haven't done it right. Did you learn something? Did you find out the things that you weren't doing? Was your stool wobbly? Come on, guys. You know? Don't say it if you don't have that. But if you do, it's okay to admit it because we already forgave you. You're supposed to turn the clock back. The longer you're in the game, it works like this. First hole of golf, 10 cents. We're playing for a little money. This is ridiculous, Tony. It doubles every time, 20 cents. Every year you're in. If you go back to doing it right, you can make huge, huge money. Because by the 11th hole, you're at $102. You stayed in the game that long. But the ante goes up. And the ability to make more money goes up with the longer you are in the game. Do you agree with that? Okay. I stole this from Yardley. 12th hole, 204. 13th hole, 409. Slow progress. You ever feel like that in the business? Huh? Oh, come on, be honest. I feel like it all the time. You know? 1,006, 3,002, it's getting okay. But by the 18th hole, you better win. 13,107. And some of you are right there right now with the length of time you've been in. These people have experienced that. They played for a long time. And then their day came to win. And now it's your time to win and stay in the game. Now there's the curve. It's amazing what happens. Did I explain that right, Yardley? I'm sure that you would have come up and correct me, but you don't have time. Watch this exponential curve. So that's what's happening. And if you apply the things that we taught you the last couple of days, it's going to be amazing. Now I want to tell you something. I got to tell you this. The business is very easy today. We worked very hard for the first 10 years, the second 20 years, to make it easy to do. Because it was hard enough to do the basic 5 without booby traps, without ambushes. But we didn't quit. They didn't give up. These guys have been through hell and back, I'm going to tell you. I don't even know how we made it. I really don't. When I go back, you know how we did it? Number 1 product, belief and a vision. And number 2, the basic 5. And number 3, teamwork. We worked together. We were together all the time so we didn't get down. And look at them. Today, you don't have those mountains to climb. But I'm going to tell you, all these things that we have today, back then, we didn't. I could go through each one of these, but it would take a half hour. We'll do a seminar on it. It's actually a comedy show. But it didn't matter that we didn't have them because we had the MPCP and we did the basic 5. And so when you get this look at it, it's just amazing. It deserves the time, but I talk too long. But this is what it came down to. We had one product that we sold over and over and over and over again, and I'm still selling it right now. It's all belief. And I just got to tell you, imagine showing the plan and people asking you what the products are and say, well, let me tell you about the mall without walls that we're going to have. And right now we got this little herbal thing with a, what do you call those things? A dropper, and you drop it on here and you lose weight. It sounded really good. We had also one that would help you stop smoking. The only problem is they didn't work. You know? And then I had like this pink liquid that made water 1,000 times wetter. That was a good one. We had something that was ground up rock from out in the Midwest or something. They put it in these cans with holes in it, and you stuck it in your refrigerator. It's supposed to keep everything fresh. It kind of worked, didn't it? You know. So, do you understand? We have every great product, revolutionary products, products that hundreds of thousands, millions of people beat the doors down for day after day. It's incredible. I look at the stuff going out, in and out, like the truck bringing it in on one end, the truck's going out the other end. I mean, as fast as it comes in, it goes out. I say, wow, where does all this go? To you and your customers. And that wouldn't happen if they weren't great products. So, here's another one. I mean, Dennis came up to me when I got him in, and I didn't get him in, he got in. Okay? And he said, where's the product literature? Because we got to sell the product. I said, we don't got any yet. He said, well, how can that be? What is going on here, man? I said, well, I got a great solution. He said, what's that? I said, you're really good at that. You make it, and I'll pay you. You know? Imagine this, Thursday. Friday's the cycle, right? You had to call your entire group and track the volume. Did you hear what I just said? Oh, it got better. We got, what do you call that? Pro Pack for $400 some. It would allow you to get into it. And Marvin. Oh, come on, guys. You know, so people would have, literally, there's pictures of these. I'll show them to you. They would have in their basement or a garage a wall filled with genealogy charts, okay? And tracking their Q date and the orders that week and trying to add it up and when somebody, you know, was going to purge or flush because purges and flushes were rampant because you had no knowledge. It was hard. But look at us. They're all making hundreds of thousands or millions for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You know, well, I don't know. Hey, here's a good one. Renewal time. Oh, what a nightmare. You had to go manually get everyone to sign a new contract. Do you realize what a nightmare that was? And today, we just keep doing it. Every month, trying to find ways to make things easier, simpler, automated, and it'll keep going like that. And with the shopping annuity, the day will come, you do the assessment, you punch a button, and the products are delivered to you. So, those of you that think that shopping annuity is hard, I'm sorry. You don't know what hard is. It's a piece of cake if you do the basic 5 and believe. And by the time you're done doing that, you're going to be making more money than you ever did, and the thing will be so simple, it'll be spreading all around the world, you'll be glad you did it. You go on $1 billion roll with us, you know? So what did you learn yesterday? I hope you learned something. Did you discover anything in the basic 5 that you weren't doing? Did you write any of those things down? I really hope that you did the exercise of going back in time and estimating how many days you actually did the result-producing activities of the basic 5, knowing that you have to do within a week all 5 of them, and add up how many days you actually went to work. Now, you can go to work drunk and sleep in the back. That doesn't count. It's only days that you were doing it right. You know what I mean, right? Okay. So, did you learn how I actually control building the business, and the people lead the people, and they learn how to do it by doing the ABC pattern? And that's kind of broken down into very clear steps. And I do it over and over again with them. And then, you know, it's like 2 a week with calling people, shaking the bean jar. Everything's broken down into daily, weekly, and monthly things. All those combination stuff, you know, the recruiting part, the goal statement, of reading the goal statement. It's all broken down into what you got to do each day and week. Did you understand that? So I taught you how to do it. I don't think I could have given any more on how to do it. But you're not going to learn it unless you experience it and do it. And that ain't going to happen unless you get a team. You join hands with other people and do it together. That's the secret. So, if we have that broken down into steps, you're going to learn that there's magic in this. I know that you think that you couldn't possibly do what they did because you think they were born that way. Don't you? Admit it. They're different. Wow, look at them. Boy, he's got a big mouth. True or false? Don't you think that they have something that you don't, because you can't figure out how they got up there. So you get all pumped up and you listen to every audio on the unfranchised audio app. That was a mistake. First of all, you're supposed to listen to it as you go so that you can remember something and apply it and keep feeding your mind. It's like eating 10 smorgasburgs in one day. But at any rate, here we go. I know them. I did it with them. Day by day, week by week, month by month, they ain't that good. But they got good. They got good. But we had fun because we did it together. It was like a game. They were the best times of my life. The chase is better than the catch. So we have it all then packaged. Everything that I taught you, every everything in the basic 5 and the 4 legs and sitting on top. Everything to be a master UFO, which means you opened your doors to your business. You finally got a business. You were going to college. You were an apprentice. Now you're doing it. It's all right here. It's all right there. The daily. Now, look at that. 10 to 15 minutes a day, shopping annuity assessment. Book 1 appointment. Talk, cultivate, call 1 to 3 people. Listen to an audio. Read goal statement. Promote the business through social media or something. Now, is there anybody here that's incapable of doing that? That it's above your ability level? See, what we need to know is that above your discipline level. Remember the pill? The pill? Double BV, double IBV. I ground myself up in it and sacrifice myself for your success. And you are to take it every day. And at the end of a couple months, you seem to have been taken off and you're not going anywhere. And we say, where's the bottle? Oh, yeah, I was taking it. We love to lie. No, I really am convinced of this because I know all types of people, when they're put on the spot about something that they're not proud of, it's better to lie than tell the truth because you don't want to get a brain spanking. Huh? So we get the jar. It's 3/4 full. All you had to do was take the pills every day and you would be, a master coordinator already. What's wrong with you? I forgot. I was busy. Busy doing what? Lots of problems. Okay, I got to get done. Anyway, okay, so let's look at how this happens and get the team ready. So people think that these people jump to the top because they're superheroes. And where is it? Video. We take a running start and we leap as high as we can go, trying to get to the top of the stairs. But the reality is, we know that we have to have certain goals and break them down, right? But it doesn't make sense, because even if I do that, I got to get up to the top. How's that going to get me up to the top? I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so I'm going to do what you think happens. Now, I might be able to do this because I'm really good at this, but I don't know if you can do it. I know how they all did it. Wow. I'm a field vice president. So it doesn't happen that way. I hate to inform you, they didn't do that. Maybe I can do it, but they can't do it. So where's the next one? So there's a method to the madness.
Super shortcut.
How many people know people that got shortcuts?
I got it right here.
Huh? Okay, well, let me see your shortcut.
All right, ready? Watch this. I was captain of the basketball team in high school, okay?
I thought you were a wrestler. You're about my size. Oh, man. That's not the way you do it.
Okay.
I think you need to come to my keys training.
Yeah, I think so. I gotta try something.
You tried to do it all in one jump? You thought you were going to get 1,000 people in all at once, like Dennis, and jump to the top and make all that money?
Okay.
Okay, well, what are you going to try this time?
All right, well.
You're not listening, so you probably do it your own way. Maybe something will work and I'll learn something.
There you go. Watch this, JR. Oh, jeez. Okay, that hurt.
Wow, Corey, you got to listen to me. I have a better way. There's techniques, there's steps.
No.
There's ways of doing this.
I can do it. I just need
Anybody
one more
have
time.
somebody like this? I mean, you're pretty amazing. If you would listen to me, I could probably show you how to get this thing done. But you got great ideas. I mean, you know.
I can do this.
I got the little keys.
All right. I got a different technique, okay?
Okay.
Watch this. This is called the perpendicular shuffle. You ready for it?
Yeah. This is a new technique. Oh my God. This must work. This changed what we're doing.
I'm getting there. I'm almost to the top. Almost.
Oh my God, I never saw
Ready,
anybody
JR?
make it this way.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Woo! That was a great try. You almost made $500,000 a year. Almost.
Okay.
You really think that you can get up there? I mean, 3 different tries, it didn't work. I know that you are going to stay in because you believe you can make it, but I mean, I would like to show you a different way. I mean, go ahead.
No. Cirque du Soleil acrobat, okay? Here we go. Yes, I got it. That's okay.
Get up.
Come on.
You're
come on,
almost there.
Come on, I can do it. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Do you have anybody with a big mouth that's a showman? You know anybody that hot dogs it, but they don't get the result? Love ya. Now, that's what we go through. You saw it yesterday. Very simple, very basic, broken down into steps that we know anyone can take. And we do it as a team. But people try to reinvent it. They try to do other things. They think they're taking shortcuts, and they do all these acrobatics and crazy funny things and fall flat on their face. Don't be ashamed. We all did it once or twice. But now it's time to change. And now it's time to get serious. And now it's time for you to succeed and you to be one of them making the big money. And I'm telling you, all they did was let me show them the stairway to heaven, residual income heaven. So next, we're almost done. So take that step. So Corey, in that step, you were talking to some of your friends about they might know the right people. There's this shopping annuity thing with this crazy guy, JR, that I trained to walk a tightrope in front of 23,000 people. You know, but you ought to come see it. And that's him. So he now starts the daily process too, but I'm doing it with them. Everybody see that? I'm not sending them out to do it. With them! I'm doing it with them. Okay, so we go up the steps. The easy daily task, doing them together, they probably get done. Do you get that? Okay, so that automatically makes the weekly. But if you didn't do the daily, the end of the week comes, oh, I didn't do it this week. Happens all the time. It would happen to me. Okay, so then we simply keep doing it, but together. Now, here's the funny thing. If you're in my ABC pattern, you saw it yesterday, right? And we're doing it together, I'm making sure you take the next step. And the person behind them. And the person behind them. But so are you. After a while, going up the stairs, you get trapped. You become a hopeless success. You catch that one on the way home. What? So then the weekly steps, doing them together, automatically add up to the monthly steps. So you're doing more BV, more IBV, repeating, more shopping annuities. And every month, you're climbing to the goal. Whoops. I do the daily, he does the daily with me, and now you're going to do the daily, and you're going to get somebody in by doing that. Everybody follow this? Ryan, you're going to do this with us as we go. Now, I'm not training just him. I'm training David, I'm training Ryan, all at the same time. Everybody see that? And they're learning by doing it together. They don't have to go out and be scared. Just like the ABC pattern. So we're just going up, doing the things I showed on stage, doing the basic 5, measuring it, and doing it together. So the next step. So we take those daily steps. Now, theoretically, by the time Ryan got to the daily steps, I'm at the end of the weekly steps. But because I did the daily steps, I've accomplished the weekly goals because I have enough going to get it done. But if I just waited to the end of the week, I wouldn't have it. How many people get that? Do you understand that? That's what you're not doing. You can do that. I know you can do that. And even if you might be shaky, if you do it with a team, you're trapped in the climb. Ha ha ha. Hopeless success. Next. If I do the daily goal over and over and over again, it's going to add up to the weekly goal each week automatically. Do you see that? Okay? So automatically by doing that, we're now repeating not only the daily, but that's adding up to the weekly. The daily's so doable, the weekly happened. I'm telling you, you can do this. There, next. Keep going up the stairs. Now, David, you make sure that Ryan does it the same way we did it with you. There you go, guys. And keep doing it. Okay. Because the weekly goal, 4 weeks automatically add up to the monthly goal. We have enough people, enough assessments, enough follow-ups, and we did them 1 week at a time and got in position to accomplish the weekly by doing the daily. So it just all adds up. We're making it, you know? We're making it to the top. And we all make it. Now, I don't want too many people making big money at once, so you guys stop there. Just one more. So we have now made executive director in 1 year. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? So if we were doing it apart, and you were doing it apart, it would be very unlikely that we got to the top of the stairs. Do you understand that? Do you? I don't see you climbing the stairs alone. It's funny about that. So it's very important what we showed you yesterday with shaking the bean jar, ABC pattern, combination. We're doing it together. So each one of those things are happening together. And it's almost automatic. So, last step. Let's fly. Let's show the world. The world, it works. It works. You must succeed so that other people can realize their dreams. Not just me, but Corey. Look at us now. Residual income. An example for all. I discovered the steps and cheated and climbed the staircase. It's real. We cheat. It works. You can do it too. You just saw me do it. So we don't jump to the top. And I got to tell you the truth. The honest to God truth is that we all cheated. We did it together, and I gave them the steps. I showed them where they were. And I'm going to tell you something. Whether it be Joanne Shee or Elizabeth, I did it with Elizabeth. When she got to the top of that stairs, she couldn't believe what happened. She became proof that it works. She became a beacon light for others to follow. She made up in that town she lived in, she had to move out. She had to succeed. so that other people could realize their dreams. And in so doing, and so putting them first to get them up the stairs and their success, she became immensely successful. By making them make 100 grand, she made $1 million, you see. And now that she was up, she was a symbol. She was a rock star. She was a symbolic gesture of what an average secretary from whatever that town is outside of Boston that did 10 MLMs and failed at every one could do when she hooks up with JR and climbs the stairs. And she climbed them. And then people came from all around. Do you get that? So look, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. I'm going to show you guys how to do this, and we're going to do it as a team. I like the youth here. You guys, I mean, this is the future. By the time they're 25, they'll be making millions. By the time you're 30, you'll be millionaires. Just don't get off the stairs. Okay, so watch me. We're going to do the daily tasks. They're very doable. I've explained them to you, and it's only one step, but we're going to do that daily step. Being that he sponsored you, you're going to make sure she does it and helps her. And so as we learn, we will teach them how to do it. So let's go. I've done this many times. Just do what I say. So I take one step. I can do the daily task. It wasn't that hard. Okay, discipline now. We got to keep doing the same thing over and over until it becomes a habit. It takes 30 days for something to become a habit. So we can't break the chain at all for 30 days. No excuses. No, I'm sick. No, I have a date. No, I got to study. This is going to make you a millionaire. Fair enough? Okay, so let's go. Next step. So he simply, make sure you take it. Okay, come on. You have to help her. Make sure she takes it. Now you help him. Next step. Next step. Okay, you're right with me. Now make sure that she doesn't know what she's doing. So you got to make sure she knows, and you make sure she does it. Now we did the weekly. Look, it all added up to the weekly. We hit the weekly goal. Man, we're making progress. You guys like this? Okay, so next step, another daily goal. I already did the weekly by doing the daily. Another daily goal. That's it down there in the right-hand corner, or whatever side that is. Everybody agreed that anybody can do that. It's not that much. So we can do this, guys. Look at us. You just follow us. Look how far up he is. He's going to be making the big money real fast. Another step. Another step. One step a day. Every week I hit it by the daily steps because it automatically adds up. It's the sum of the daily steps. Woo! We have done this for a month. We've done this for a month now. And by hitting the daily, we hit the weekly. The weekly automatically added up to the month. We're geniuses. This is so silly, this is so easy, and nobody can figure it out, but we're geniuses. Okay, let's do the same thing. Now, everybody make sure that their person that's newer than them makes the next step. Don't let them slip or fall. They won't let me go all the way up. All the way up. Okay, so now watch. Because of how we did it, they automatically got here simply by doing it together. And those in between got caught in the line. And as a result, they became hopeless successes. He's now a master coordinator. I'm now a supervising coordinator. Or maybe I was already field vice president and I was building a new leg and I brought them up with me. That's how you do it, folks. Do you get it? Okay, it's harder to get down than it is to get up. We're going down now. So each one of them will end up being at the top. Does everybody see that? Is it clear? There's an old saying, it's easier to make money than it is to keep it. You meet the same people on the way up as you meet on the way down. So don't go down. Okay, thank you. Matt, I want to skip to the treadmill and the tombstone and wrap it up. So you guys, thank you. You're in line to go up. You'll be at the top. You guys are great. Love you. Thank you. Okay. So look, life is short. Life is way too short. And I hope that you understood that because, you know, that's the secret. That's the secret. So I don't know how long you've been in. I don't know how old you are. But one thing I do know, time passes fast, faster and faster and faster. I don't know anybody that has figured out how to get out of life alive. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there. And God gave us this life and to not dream and to not create and to not live life to the fullest, I believe is the greatest sin. You wasted or let the life you were given not become what it could have been because of other idiots poo-pooing on your parade. How valuable is your life? So we have a way to do it. A lot of other people have excuses because they're caught up in the 45-year plan. I don't know where that is, but, the wheel. But the wheel, you want to put the wheel up? And so they go to work. They're good people. They have good intentions, but they run and run faster and faster on the wheel at their work. Meanwhile, life is passing them by. Is that happening to you? Every week, every month. And you know, you're tired, you got problems, you don't know any way to do it, but your life is passing by. And someday, the day is going to come when you can't do anything about it. And the question is now, when you get there, what is going to be your legacy? You know, for one person to change one other life, let alone two, and help them break out of that jail and prison of their mind, to find freedom, to live life to the fullest, is the greatest accomplishment that a human being can achieve. Even one. There's people in here that have done it to thousands. That's where you get the mansion in heaven, by what you contributed here. The greatest joy in life is achievement and helping other people succeed. It's addictive. That's how we change the world. And so, guys, I'm scared. I'm scared life is going to run out before I'm done. So I'm in a hurry to do more. And you know what the beautiful thing is? If you're 50, if you're 60, if you're 70, what if you had Bobby Cannata's problem? Go suck your thumb. You see, you can take 1 year and live a lifetime here. You can take what it takes somebody else 45, 50 years to do and do in a couple years. And if you're 60 or 50, you can live the rest of your life more living than anybody else did your age. Then at least you are complete. You're complete. You see, so the thing I did when we were, how old were you, Lauren? 18? I said, we got to go to the graveyard. This is a reality check. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You think I'm crazy? I dare you to do this. I dare you to go to the graveyard. I said, we got to go to the graveyard because we're running out of time, and I don't want to become one of them. We have to wake up. I got to find somebody. Come on, Lauren, let's go. You know, we had just met. I think she thought I was like some type of maniac or, you know, serial killer or something. But she went. I never forget, on the way there, I was really driving fast, and she said, you're going 80 miles an hour. I said, if I had a license, I'd go faster. You know, but the thing you discover when you go to the graveyard is, just like you, these people lived a life. They were born, and they went through life. But you don't know, as you walk up and down the rows, any of them. They don't ring a bell. They're just names. Isn't it funny how when they die, life goes on? And there's no even mark of their existence here. They did nothing to count. There's not other lives that say, wow, they changed my life and I'm alive. They didn't do the things they wanted. They just lived, went to school, worked, got married, got divorced, and died. Wow, that's a real exciting story. I think I'll buy that book. Or does that book get tossed in the trash can? Your life, tossed in the trash can. Or it doesn't become a bestseller. I guarantee you Elizabeth Weber's would be a bestseller. Joanne Shee, what a story that is. You see? No trace of their existence. You know, no more problems, no more joys, no more sunrises, no more sunsets. They just didn't fit it in. They didn't have time, you see, so their legacy is forgotten. So I go to the graveyard, and I find one after going by all of these, and I say, wow, here's a good one, Lauren. Here's a good one. Hey, Joe. Man, you know, I don't know you, but I know somebody like you, and you're here, and I want to help you, man, because you won't believe what I found. We can do anything we want. We can bust the alarm clock, get up when we want, travel, have a boat, send our kids to the schools they want, vacation, have a second home. We can do it all. What type of cars do you like, man? You know, like Joe, I found out, okay, that all we got to do, Joe, listen, all we got to do is get out of our comfort zone. It's only one step, man, and we can really live. Joe, I know you got dreams, buddy. You always thought they couldn't come true, but I found the way. They can come true. You know, Joe, I met some people, and I figured it out, that we've been prisoners of our own thinking. Prisoners of our own mind. Joe, it's easy. I got a way, and we're not going to be in prison anymore. Get up, man. Joe, I found out. I went to a seminar. Fear and failure must become your best friend. And I'm your friend. Let's go. Man, we can take vacations in Saint-Tropez. We can get boats. We can do all types of beautiful things. Joe, get up. Get up before it's too late. He just lays there. He was a good guy. His clock ran out. It's too late. He died. And he leaves no legacy. Don't you let that happen to you. So I know what happens to you. Believe me, I'm not that stupid because I'm one of you. I know what happens to you. You get in, you have good intentions. You're a wonderful person. You deserve that life. But you got friends. You got friends and family. Now, when you tell them about the business, they don't get excited. They're going to end up there unless you can wake them up. And the best way to wake up a relative is succeed on your own and then tell them about it. But you got my good friends. They're my friends. If they're your friends, why don't they encourage you? Even if they're not going to do it, why don't they applaud? Why don't they, rather they try to discourage you? Oh, you can never do that. What do you mean? That's one of them things. What makes you think you can do that? What are you, crazy? You've been brainwashed. You're just going to fail and embarrass us all. Now, let me tell you why they do that, because it really doesn't make any sense, does it? Right? I'm going to tell you why they do it. Because if you succeed, you will expose their mediocrity. And they won't be able to face you or themselves. They don't care about you. They might love you, but they don't care about you. So I'll tell you what you do. Succeed anyway. Because it's your life. So I know what happens. I know what happened to Elizabeth. I know what she went through. I know what a lot of you went through. I know what Frank went through. He had it happen to him too. Your good friends hear about it. And they watch you. Say, oh, what are you doing now? Or they won't even, they avoid you. You get those? So they live across the street, and you're in the business now. And you got people coming and going from your house, and boxes leaving. And they're looking out the window. Oh, look at them. What are they doing? They must be in something illegal. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's 8 o'clock at night, and she's going up all dialed up. She must be working. You know? And so you don't listen to them. Take a mental vacation from them. So you start to grow. You take a vacation. Call it Saint-Tropez. Call it the Caribbean. Call it whatever other places that Elizabeth goes. She's an expert at that. And you send them a postcard. You know? Having a great time in Tahiti. You know? I'm in my digital office working, but this is a great office to be working in. And we're having fun. And they say, look at this, show us. They can't do that. Well, you know, all of a sudden you get a new car. And look at that. It must be one of them leases. I mean, they can't afford that. How are they doing that? Well, you know, she's working. Every day. Look, every day now, people coming in and out of their house. There must be an ordinance against this. New car, all of a sudden, in the front of that house is a for sale sign. Your house. Bye-bye. Look at that, they're moving, they can't do that. Guess what? You don't make the choice. You don't make the choice for me anymore. So, your good friend, your beloved relative, you get notice from God. Your number's up. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I mean, I got more things to do. I got an unfinished leg. You know? I was going on vacation. I got stuff to do. You know? Call your good friend John. He'll take your place. John, my to-do list is longer than ever. It's not done. My email box is full. I'm helping people. You've been my good friend all my life. I know that you care about me. I got more to do. You're not doing anything. Can you take my place? My number came up. Will you take my place? Is he going to take your place? He's not going to die for you, is he? So let me tell you something. Please listen very carefully. If he's not going to die for you, don't let him live for you now when it's time to live either. You know? That's it. Okay. Yeah. Will you get the chair?
Yep.
Yeah. When you get to that point, you are now liberated. You're liberated. It feels good. But don't say it when your number came up and you're dying. Don't wait to say it. Say it now. Because when you get to that point, listen to me very carefully. When you get to that point in your mind and you step out of your comfort zone and you release yourself from prison in your own mind and you go out of your mind in order to be able to use your head. Whoa, watch out. You're coming alive. You are freed. I don't know about you, but my whole life was controlled by this son of a bitch. I hate this thing. Answering the bells, living by bells. You now know that you do not need to be controlled by this. You decide when you get up, when you go to bed, when you work, and what you do. Now, Laura and I work very hard. We always joke, we took on the 45-year plan so you could have the 2 to 3 year plan. Really what we do is just smacking more 2 to 3 year plans in there to have more fun. Because we love it, and we love you. And our cause is seeing people like you succeed. That's our juice. So I want you to do the ceremony we do. Because we work hard all the time, we have to remind ourselves, we are not controlled. We are only doing what we want to do. It's our choice. We just happen to love it. And so once a month, this is an honest to God truth. Once a month, we set that thing for 7 like it used to control us. And that thing goes off, and I put it down, and this is what you're going to do. I want you to do this seminar. I am now free. Free at last! Free at last! You know? So, you got to get me to the end, please. I have more really great stuff, but the time is up. The time ran out. Don't let that happen to your life. Can you get me to the end? Okay. That's where we're at. It's time to come in for a landing. The mind can only absorb what the rear end can endure. And with the best intentions, I did it again. I'm sorry. I love you so much. I listen to your comments. We love everything that you do, JR. But how about 2 hours and not 3.5? Okay, I get it. Look, you got to understand, I'm just talking to myself. You just happen to overhear it. You stop listening, raise your hand. You know? So, at any rate, I want to thank you for coming, for believing. It's my fervent prayer my only wish, that you would change something. That you would change something and come back next time as a master UFO and be at a level. I hope that you'll take the list that I gave you. The things that we did, you're supposed to have a list. Change one thing. I was going to go through an exercise and give you a challenge of 4 things that you should do. The basic thing is do something. Just do something. Do something different than you were doing. Become a master UFO. Get on with the shopping annuity. And we can change the world. We can change the world.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become.
You're always too young or old, or busy or broke or something else. If you constantly fret about timing things perfectly, they'll never happen.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that itch.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it!
We must act today in order to preserve tomorrow. And let there be no misunderstanding. We are going to begin to act, beginning today.
Men will still say, this was their finest hour.
In you, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure.
From the soles of your feet, with every ounce of blood you've got in your body, lay it on the line until the final whistle blows. And if you do that, we cannot lose.
I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
You want to max out your humanity by using your energy to lift yourself up, your family, and the people around you. What is your true calling? What is your purpose?
True wins, true losses, true life. I just realized that if you say it to yourself and you look yourself in the eye and look yourself in the mirror and truly, truly believe that not a man alive can beat you, then that is the way it is.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up free at last, free at last.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up. And that's what I'm going to try to do every minute that I have left.
You want to ask every day, how can I grow? So at the end of that day, you're not the same person that got out of bed. You've had an insight, you've had a revelation, you've practiced something new, you've tried something new, so that you have become more yourself. How can I grow today?
Talent and good intentions are never enough in this world. You need to be fearless and strategic.
But as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight.
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith.
People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you, you can't do it. You want something, go get it.
And she's gonna learn that this life will hit you hard, in the face, wait for you to get back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air.
We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do, to lay your foundation and to make whatever mark you're gonna make. Whatever legacy you're gonna leave your legacy.
Sometimes life's gonna hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. You've got to find what you love.
You are the painting, you are the paintbrush, you are the canvas. You are the answer to the question you are looking for. Turn your life into a living, breathing work of art, because anything less would be a tragedy.
Dream and think big, because we would never be bigger than our thoughts and our dreams. And you are here to have a magic moment where a billionth of a volt sparks or snaps across your cerebral cortex that you can do it. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you'll gladly sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you'll simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stern pertinacity, with God's help, you'll get it.